now that we got that done, I want to talk about inciting violence, Shepard. I want to talk about inciting violence because that FBI agent that's interviewing my friend is probably watching this right now. Everyone say hi to the FBI agent because he's definitely watching this right now. Whew. Yeah. So a lot of people in the media right now are accusing Trump of inciting violence. And so I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about what that is for people that aren't really familiar with kind of what that means, just from a language perspective, but also from a legal perspective. And then I think what I want to get to is like the libertarian position on inciting violence. Is it a crime? Is it an initiation of force? Is it a non-aggression principle violation? Oh my God.
Awesome.
Don't piss off my FBI agent, guys. Be nice to him. He's probably investigating me right now. Calm down. They're calling him a terrorist. Chill. Guys, you're going to get me black bagged. What are you doing? Oh God. Oh, I'm dead. Okay. So it was nice. I hope you enjoyed the channel, guys. It's probably over.
And thanks for having me on, Mr. McAfee. I appreciate
it. Oh man. Okay. Okay. So inciting violence. I looked up the definition of inciting, and I apologize. I didn't leave it pulled up. I will pull it up again. To incite, I believe, is to encourage someone to do something. Encourage or stir up violent or unlawful behavior. To urge or persuade somebody to act in a violent or unlawful way. So apparently it's just basically encouraging or persuading somebody to do something that is against the law or violent, which is, a little bit murky and up for discussion. What the left is doing to Trump right now is they're taking his lack of denouncing the rioters as an incitement, which is, of course, it's just...
You're so stupid.
It's just dumb. Like he doesn't. There's a very big difference between telling somebody or convincing somebody or encouraging somebody to go do something violent and merely not saying not to. Like there's a big difference, but I don't really care much about the political divide. What I really wanted to get into was the libertarian perspective on this. The libertarian perspective. I love having the memes back. Oh, it's so good. The libertarian position on incitement. Do you want to hit it, Shepard? What do you think? Is incitement to violence a non-aggression principle violation? Is that an actual an attack that you should be able to cage somebody over?
I think not. I think that the line is crossed when somebody initiates violence. And I think that's an important distinction because I don't see anything wrong with violence. Like if some woman is attacked in the alley and some guys are trying to rob her, I think violence is wonderful. I celebrate her violent rejection of those guys. I hope that she stabs them and punches them and bites them. Like I love all the violence that she can do to protect herself and to escape. I love violence when it is in opposition to the initiation of violence. So to me, it would seem like it would be the person who initiates the violence. So then, and I don't have a good answer for this, but is it wrong to try to get you to initiate violence against me? And is it your duty to keep walking away? And how much can I pester you in the bar and keep getting up in your face and saying stuff to you? Do you really need to leave? Is that your duty? Or is it okay if you shove me backward and say, hey, get out of my face, man? Like guy code, that's what you do. Somebody's messing with you. You're like, hey, back off. And you give them a shove and you kind of puff your chest up. And at my age, I can do it for like 3 seconds and I'm winded. But you do this and you get them to back off a little bit and then you move on in life. Well, I don't know. Is that right to shove them backward? And I don't really have the right answer. And I guess it comes back to what's right and wrong. Is this an objective or a subjective thing? And does it come down to the conflict equilibrium that I love so much? Is just kind of what would you do? What would everybody around you do? What do you think? You want to gamble it?
There's a statement made by the Libertarian Party recently that was against the rioters at the Capitol. One guy said the entire point of the Libertarian Party is to change public policy our way through peaceful means. To be a member, you must affirm your opposition to the use of force to achieve political goals. If you think violence is appropriate today or any day, you have no place in our party. And then the LP National said, quoting the Libertarian Pledge. There's a pledge for those of you who don't know, and I don't blame you for not knowing. I probably like you more if you don't know. Is to join the Libertarian Party, you have to sign and agree to the Libertarian Pledge, which is part of which is I certify that I oppose the initiation of force to achieve political or social goals. And so the Libertarian Party National is coming out against libertarians that were kind of nonplussed about what happened at the Capitol. They were like, oh, okay, it's just people angry that the government is a tyranny, and they're sticking it to them, kind of like I talked about in that video from a couple days ago. It's like, well, I mean, there are people that are in the libertarian community that are conflating who the attacker is, who initiated the force in this situation. I know we're getting off topic on inciting violence, but I just wanted to quickly cover this. Who do you think is doing the initiating? The people at the Capitol building? Do you think they started that fight? If the government hasn't been making their life hell for their entire life, do you think they would have been there? Who started this fight? Who initiated this fight? The people or the state? What do you think opposing the initiation of force looks like? You don't just ask. You don't just send a letter. You don't just drop your vote in the suggestion box of slaves once every 4 years. Go ahead. You're about to say something.
Yeah, and it just dawned on me. This question that you're bringing up was asked of me in one of the law enforcement agencies that I worked for when I was a new cop. I was out on field training, and my field training officer gave me an analogy. And he said, okay, so you're in a gunfight with somebody, and they shoot at you, and you shoot at them, and then they run from one hiding place behind one car to another hiding place behind a different car, but they're running away from you to go hide behind the other car. Can you shoot them in the back? Is that permissible? Is that okay to do? And I said, well, no, I'm a cop. I wouldn't shoot somebody in the back. And then he explained to me the concept of this is a dynamic moving situation. You are in a gun battle. And just because that moment the person's back is turned, you're in a gun battle with this person. And it doesn't have to be only a millisecond before or after the bullet exits their muzzle that you can defend yourself, that you can shoot back. And so then that brings up the big question. And I don't know anything about the protesters, but if their business was shut down and that led to them being very depressed and their spouse committed suicide, they went back to alcohol after 13 years being sober. And because they're an alcoholic, the state took their children and all their employees are sad and bad things are happening to them. I didn't have all that bad stuff happen to me. It wasn't a good year last year, as I'm sure everybody would agree. But if all of that happened, is it morally, is that a running battle with the people that incited you? Is the government responsible for inciting the violence of protesters? I don't know.
So, like, let's try and steelman the line, or at least clearly, maybe not steelman, but just clearly define the line. where inciting to violence maybe crosses into being culpable for an actual crime. And then, like, I think that's a good place to leave this topic in the sake of time. if you're about had it with this show, man, you are free and clear to drop off anytime. I'm having a blast though. So
me too.
Okay, good. So I think the only way you become co-culpable or a co-conspirator in a crime is if you provide some sort of material aid to the crime, and that could be like if I stood in a town square and I said, "Hey, kill that guy," and I pointed at a guy, and then somebody went over and killed the guy. I don't think I would in any way be responsible for that crime at all, because the person that heard my air vibrations that came out of my mouth was in full control of their body, and they are the one that made the choice to take that action. Like, we all get external stimulus all day long, all the time, from all different places, and we are in charge of filtering what is good and what is bad and what is dangerous and what is moral and what is immoral or evil. That's on us. We are solely responsible for our actions. On the other side of that line, I would say maybe, like, if you knew a group of people were going to go rob a bank, and the guy that was the getaway driver came to you, and you knew that he was the getaway driver for this gang, and he asked you, "Hey, I need to get some gas. Where's the nearest gas station?" And you said, "Oh, it's 3 blocks up on the left." And he went and got gas, and they went and robbed a bank. I think that is the edgiest of edge cases for you being a co-conspirator in the crime of that bank robbery. And just to make it even more edgy, let's say that in the carrying out of that bank robbery, they shot and killed somebody. I think that because you helped that crime be committed in a way that it might not have been able to have been committed without your assistance, and that's what I would consider material assistance. Like, if you contributed something that was necessary to the commission of the crime, I think that is what links you to it. It makes you a co-conspirator in the crime. And so for the incitement thing, it wouldn't just be, "Hey, go kill that guy." It would be something much, much more involved. It would be something like, "Hey, that guy abducted my kid and he got away. Go get him." And then, like, people, you know, believing that they're doing good, go and, you know, like, and you say, "Hey, he's going to be here at this location at this time. Here's what he looks like. Here's his position." Like, you give them all the details and information, maybe even hand them, you know, a weapon to go and do it. Like, you actually contribute in a material way to the crime happening. That is, I think, where that line is on both sides. Hopefully, if I define both sides, then we get the line, right?